Hi everyone, I'm Rachel and I have some delicious dinner inspiration for you this week. Welcome to my channel. To start off our first meal, I am getting some zucchini and some potatoes chopped up into bite-sized pieces, and I'm just making some homemade shake and bake. I'm using some flour and some cornstarch. I didn't measure anything. I just kind of eyeballed it all and put it in a bowl and mixed it up. I am adding some seasoned salt, and then I added some pepper and salt, some garlic powder, I also added a little bit of Parmesan cheese and broke up the little clumps and then just got that all mixed together. Once I had all of those dry ingredients mixed together, then I added in some panko just so that everything would have a little bit of crunch. Next, I just threw in the veggies and gave them a good coat in the seasoning. And I did the same with the potatoes. And the potatoes and the zucchini got mixed together and then just poured out onto a greased foil lined baking sheet that goes into my air fryer. I did pile this pan pretty thick with the potatoes and zucchini, but it was okay. I just gave them a stir every now and then and made sure that they got cooked on all sides until they were nice and toasty and crispy. While the potatoes and the zucchini are cooking, I have my husband trimming off the, what is that, grizzly or whatever the connective tissue is in chicken. I don't know, cartilage. And I'm just putting that right into the same mixture that I used on the potatoes and zucchini. I did replenish it and add more to the bowl so that I'd have enough to coat all my chicken thighs. And I just put those chicken thighs on a greased foil lined baking sheet, and those went into the oven on 375 for an hour. Previously, I had my chicken in the fridge in a pan with salted water for about 2 hours. Kind of like a brine, I guess. And this is everything coming out of the oven and the air fryer, and it was just absolutely delicious. My husband was thoroughly impressed with this oven baked shake and bake chicken. He's the one that requested shake and bake, and when he was at the store he asked if I wanted him to buy some or if I wanted to make my own. I had never made it before, but this was what I came up with in my head, and it turned out really good. I will continue to make this in the future. We decided to jump on the pumpkin bandwagon and make some of these pumpkin cream cheese cookies, and they were so good. I have no picture of them coming out because they were devoured immediately. The next day I took some of those leftover boneless, skinless chicken thighs that I didn't cook before and put them in the crock pot. I had initially planned on making jambalaya on this day, so I reserved a few of the chicken thighs and I added some cut up smoked sausage. And I'm just using this box of Zatarain's jambalaya mix, and I'm just going to pour that right into the crock pot with everything else. I then added the remaining jar of the homemade salsa that I made a couple weeks earlier. I had this in the refrigerator in a mason jar, so it had to be used up pretty soon. And normally I would be using a couple of cans of tomatoes with green chilies, but I didn't have to do that because I already had my own on hand. I didn't even have to cut any onions because those were in there too. And so then I just added the mason jar of water to this mixture and made sure that that rice was stirred in really well so that it had a lot of liquid to cook up with. And this was so easy. I just put the lid on and let it go all day on warm. Not even on low, it was on warm. But I knew that I had hours and hours to cook this, and my crock pot runs very hot, so it all worked out. My husband grabbed a bag of shrimp on his way home from work, and he added that at the end. They only take a couple minutes to heat and cook through, so I am just moving mine to the front of my little bowl here because I don't like shrimp, and I just gave them right back to my husband because he usually eats all of my shrimp. On Tuesday, I made steak tacos using this carne piccata from Walmart that already comes pre-packaged. It's already cut up in little tiny pieces, so that work was done for me. I added a little bit of enchilada sauce that I had left over and had thrown into my freezer a while back, and then just to be crazy like I am, I just added some fajita seasoning because that's what I had, and I wanted this meat to be nice and seasoned up, so that's just how we're doing it this time. I just put a lid on this and just let it go until I was ready to assemble the tacos at the end. Next, I just cut up some green onions. I have had the worst luck with green onions from Walmart lately. I do not know why, but I had just bought these the day before, so I thought I better use them up really quick before I lose them. I have had to throw away so many green onions lately. It's just a shame. Last, I just cooked up some corn tortillas in my cast iron skillet and got those all ready to go. And here I'm just making my husband's plate and showing you guys because his look better than mine. I don't like green onions or cheese on my steak tacos, so I am just showing how I put his together with some cheese and topped them with the green onions, and that was it. We didn't have anything on the side. I can't remember if we did or not, but no, I don't think so. It was just a real easy, quick taco night. I had picked up these Nestle M&M sugar cookies for us to try out, just getting into the fall festive Halloween spirit, I guess. And they didn't turn out very cute. They looked cute on the package and the dough looked cute, but the sprinkles, they came out kind of funny looking after baking. And so that was our dessert that night. The following night, I just made a quick pot of spaghetti. There's a family joke that my spaghetti never tastes the same twice, but it's always good. And so on this night, I just did some hot, spicy Italian sausage and a pound of ground beef, extra lean so that I didn't have to drain it. I just cooked up the noodles, added the sauce, and a little bit of brown sugar to this, and it was so good. Oh, you know what? I think I did use the very, very last drop of my salsa that I made, and it was just so different, so good. It was a hit. It was spaghetti. It's, I think we have spaghetti maybe once every 2 weeks, maybe. I don't know, but here it is again. And at the end, I just topped mine with some Italian seasoning. I don't know why. I was just wanted it on there. And I didn't put it in when I cooked it. So there we go. Thursday for us was a whatever night. And then on Friday, we went out to eat. So here it is Saturday. And I'm throwing some of these frozen chicken breasts into the crock pot. Yeah, I ended up making the whole bag because by the time I added a few to them, I would only had like one or two of these little breasts, which are not much to do anything with. So then I thought, well, I might as well just throw them in there. These chicken breasts always cook down to hardly anything. The worst case scenario is that we'll have leftovers. And if we don't eat the leftovers, then I just put them in the freezer for another day when I want something quick to make. So anyway, I just added some lemon pepper, some garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and pepper. Now, I like to use lemon pepper in chicken dishes. I think it just gives it such a special taste. It's a little unexpected. I've had people ask me, what is this taste? And it just is a little surprise. I don't see people using lemon pepper very often, but I like to use it. And I was totally out of milk or milk products. So luckily I had this can of evaporated milk in my emergency pantry supplies. So I have diced ham, chicken breast, macaroni noodles, and evaporated milk. I put 2 cups of water. I have my spices in there, and now I'm just putting some pats of butter on top, and this is going to cook and kind of all break up and melt in together. And at that point, I'm going to come back and give it a stir. So next I just put my sliced provolone cheese on here. So this is kind of like a chicken cordon bleu casserole. And I usually have these sliced provolone cheese slices in my refrigerator or in my freezer at all times for just such an occasion. A couple hours later, the frozen chicken was thawed out enough that I could go in and give everything a good stir. 5 hours in, I decided I wanted some color, so I added some more cheese and then stirred that in as well. And this is what the casserole looked like after 6 hours on low in the crock pot. And I made myself a little plate while the guys were gone playing golf. This was hot and ready for them when they got home. I just added some crumbled bacon on top of mine, and this was really good. Basically just macaroni and cheese with chicken and ham, but it was delicious. Next, I'm whipping up some box brownies for us to have on this day. I decided to line my baking dish with parchment paper, and so here I'm just putting a small amount in first to get the paper weighted down and kind of try to smush it down around the edges and get it to go to the corners and the edges. I think sometimes when you see people do things on YouTube, it just looks so perfect and so easy, and I just wanted to show everyone that isn't always the case. I did get some drips and some drizzles on the edges of the paper. It wasn't really that easy to get the brownies all the way to the edge, and they did not come out perfect like I expected them to, but they were just fine. And since these are Halloween brownies, being a little lopsided or whatever didn't matter. This was a great value fudge brownie mix, and it went in the oven for 40 minutes on 350. And when the brownies were done baking, I just let them cool and then lifted them right out and pulled the paper down on the edges. I could have left them right in the pan and frosted them, but since I wanted to do a fun decoration on them, I wasn't sure if I wanted the edges exposed. So initially I flipped it over and peeled the paper off, and then decided that I wanted to turn it back on the original side up. And as you can see, my pan was very clean. And so I'm just taking this funfetti frosting that I found at Walmart, and I'm just going to use about half of it and frost these little brownies. So when I was at the store, I saw all the fun mixes for Halloween, and I wanted them all. And then I decided that I already have enough cake and brownie mixes at home, and I could get away with saving a little money and just buying the frosting mixes that I liked. They are so cute. And so that's what I did with these brownies. And I'm going to start by just putting some of these sprinkles on here. And this is the funfetti that has the little eyes in it. And so I'm just going all over the place with these sprinkles. I had some Halloween sprinkles in my baking supplies, and I'm just adding those as well for some extra colors. And there's no rhyme or no reason, just sprinkles everywhere. And then I'll go back in and put all the little eyes on it. This was a really fun, quick, and easy Halloween treat, not a trick, just to whip up really quick, and my family thought it was just so fun and special. I just love Halloween, and I plan to surprise them with lots of treats this year. And Cameron and I just couldn't wait. We had to cut these immediately and give them a try. They were just so good. I mean, who doesn't love brownies? And these were just so colorful and fun. Well, that's it for this week's What's for Dinner. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you possibly found some dinner inspiration out of what we had this week. As always, thank you for watching and for giving me all of your support and love. If you like these videos, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Bye for now.